If you are a swimmer, in any given training week, you can take up to 10,000 rotations of your shoulder, even up to 30,000 if you're an elite swimmer. My name is Dr. Robin Armstrong. I'm a chiropractor at Willowbrook Chiropractic in Langley. And today I'm going to talk to you about swimmer's shoulder, specifically shoulder impingement. And when you're taking that much repetitive motion in a joint, that can lead to fatigue and potentially to an injury. So we're going to talk about what shoulder impingement is, what it might feel like, and what you can do about it, either to prevent it or if you think you might be suffering from it. So first, let's talk about the shoulder joint itself. So it's a ball in a socket, and it rotates within that socket, and it's a joint of mobility. But because of that mobility, we sacrifice stability. Now, the shoulder itself is actually part of a complex. So we have the ball and socket, and then that attaches to the clavicle or the collarbone. And around the back, it attaches to the scapula or the shoulder blade. Now, as you can see, that's kind of open-ended. We have a firm attachment at the front to the sternum, but at the back, there's just the scapula sitting on the rib cage. And there's no ligamentous attachments of that scapula to the trunk. So it's just attached by muscle. If those muscles are strong and they're working properly, great. But if they're weak and underactive, or we're using them improperly, then that can lead to problems. Now, you've probably also heard of the rotator cuff muscles. So the rotator cuff muscles are actually a group of 4 small muscles, and they help provide some stability to the shoulder joint. So they sit on the shoulder blade itself. So we have the supraspinatus at the top of the shoulder blade, the infraspinatus, the teres minor, and then on the underside, which we can't see, the subscapularis. So that makes up the 4 muscles of the rotator cuff. And they, like I said, provide some stability, but the 2 muscles that can become a problem in shoulder impingement are the supraspinatus at the top, so the tendon can get pinched under the acromion part of the collarbone, and the subscapularis, that one that lies on the underside of the scapula, can get pinched under the coracoid, which is actually the hook part of our shoulder blade that comes over, and that's where our pecs attach. So how do you know if you're suffering from shoulder impingement? Well, you might actually feel a pinch when you raise your arm overhead, or you might actually feel some confusing symptoms around your shoulder. So because the muscles of the rotator cuff actually have referral patterns, they send pain to other places, you might actually feel pain down the back of your arm, leading you to believe you might have a triceps strain. But that actually could be the supraspinatus sending pain down the arm. It can actually go all the way down to the hand. Or you might be having some compensation. So you might be using your upper trapezius muscles more, so you're getting a lot of tension there. You might start to get some strain through the rib cage and get pain near the scapula or the shoulder blade. So when it comes to what you can do about it, this is why it's important for you to get assessed by a health professional. You want to actually determine, what is the cause of my shoulder pain? Is it impingement? Do I have a tricep strain? Is it referral from my neck? So in our practice, we would look at, how is your neck moving? How is your thoracic spine, your upper back moving, as well as your rib cage, and the muscles all around the shoulder joint itself. And we might even look at the clavicle and do some adjustments to the clavicle if we think that's necessary to help get that rotation in there. You're also going to want to stretch your pec muscles. So if the muscles between the shoulder blades are not working properly, or you're getting that pinching feeling, you want to get the shoulder in the optimal position. So you want to stretch the pecs and then strengthen in between the shoulder blades. And I've done a video about shoulder strength and mobility for swimmers that might be helpful to you. We're also going to be doing a video specifically about exercises for shoulder impingement, so look out for that. If you have a swim coach, have them look at your technique. Tell them what you're experiencing, that you're feeling this pinch or this pain. There might be a few simple changes that they can make to your stroke that could actually decrease your pain right away. If you think you're suffering from swimmer's shoulder or shoulder impingement, or maybe you want to get ahead of it and not end up with an injury, you can book online at willowbrookchiropractic.com. We post regular content on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook under Willowbrook Chiropractic. If you have any questions about anything I've talked about here today, please feel free to ask myself, Dr. Robin Armstrong, or Dr. Jody Freedman. We're always happy to help.